And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those duct tapes from times gone by, as we have returned with the second half of our GSL broadcast here. GSL Season 3 Codes, the round of 8, Group A. And so far, we're, again, working our way through the group. A couple of matches have concluded, and you can see what we're up to. Again, initially, Kira did take down DRG 2-0, GuMiho took down Solar, and now we have some mirror matchups ahead of us. We have a TvT for the winner's match. One of these Terrans is confirmed for the top 4, for the semi-finals, essentially, to make it into the top 4 of GSL. Meanwhile, we have the elimination match, which will be a ZVZ. One of these rogue players will be bowing out in Group A. Unfortunately, if you're a fan of Protoss, no Protoss tonight, but we had plenty of Protoss this morning, so don't worry. This morning we were casting ESL Open Cup Americas, and yeah, we got to feature a lot of players like Trigger, Max Pax, Firefly as well. Plenty of Protoss action, but here it's all about the Terrans and the Zergs, at least for tonight. And yes, of course, this does mean that our next matchup is going to be that TvT. And of course, it means that the decider match, regardless of how this turns out, will be another Terran versus Zerg. So definitely something to look forward to. I mean, I know a lot of people have things to say about certain mirror matchups, but I love me some good TvT. That's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. And here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of our Kyode, we have the red Terran player representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player representing his new team, Cloud9. It is GuMiho. Here we go. Our first and only TvT is upon us. Yeah, it's the math isn't possible there for another TvT afterwards, so I am ready for it. And I know a lot of people have certain thoughts about TvT, especially about how slow paced it can be, how positional based it can be as well, and that is true in years gone by, but in the most recent year, maybe even year and a half, 2 years of play, that hasn't really been the case. I would say that kind of slow TvT style is more of a rarity. Not unseen, we do see it every now and then, don't get me wrong, but for the most part, we have been seeing more aggressive, active, chaotic styles here amongst our Terran players, which has been amazing to see. You know, players like Bjorn, Oliveira, when they get involved, they do love to spice things up. They do love to be active here. Cure can be very aggressive as well, and yeah, it's been a treat. Korean TvT is always amazing to behold, and I feel like the stereotypical slow, methodical siege line TvT isn't really seen as often anymore. Thankfully. Again, you still see it every now and then, but it's not as commonplace as it once was. The meta has since shifted and has since evolved past that, which I appreciate. As I say all of that, up next we're gonna see mech versus mech, tank v tank, what watch that happen at some point in this series. I hope not, but I mean, now that I think about it, GuMiho, he is willing to play mech in in every matchup, including even against Protoss. So yeah, let's not rule that out. As we get into our openers, it is going to be an economic opener out of GuMiho CC on location. Meanwhile, Cure went for a double gas opener instead. A delayed expansion here just to be more aggressive. The Reapers, they do rock up. So far, we're trading 1-1, and it looks like GuMiho does shoot first. Both players will lose their CVs. Cure will back off in the end. But again, Cure, his command center is heavily delayed here in favor of aggression. We go for the add-on swap, and we should be getting into those factory-based units. There we go. Cyclones are on the way. Behind this, GuMiho going for a wild twist here, going for Marauder production. Oh my god. So GuMiho, he scouted earlier, he did see the factory, so he's aware of the gas, he's aware of the double gas. He's aware of the faster factory play, he's aware that either Hellions or Cyclones are in production, and his response to that is Marauders. Very unique here from GuMiho. I'm all for it. And what I love especially is that this is a sign that this shouldn't be leading into mech. If we're investing this heavily here, yeah, it's a concussive shell, we're going straight into stim as well. Oh my god. GuMiho. Very rarely do we ever see players rush into these upgrades so damn quickly. But yeah, Concussive Shell is done. Stim is on the way behind this as well. Very fast upgrades, and for the time being, Cure has no idea what is going on. And GuMiho behind this is getting into his 1-1-1. Starport's on the way, I imagine, for Medivacs, and we're going to be building up towards a pretty interesting bio push. Very interesting. Especially considering that I assumed that this would be a 2-1-1 variation. I assumed a second Rax would be on the way before the Starport, but no, we're prioritizing the Starport. And I'm curious, are we going to go for a Marauder drop? Just purely Marauders? Okay. Meanwhile, Cure is pushing. Cure, he's built up towards 4 Cyclones. We have a 5th Cyclone on the way, going for an add-on swap, getting into Ravens as well. What we expect to be seeing here, the Cyclones, they're from map control. Eventually, we're going to be getting into tank production, but for now, Cyclones have hit the field. They're moving out, and they're going to be running into Marauders of all things. Here we go, the Marauders, they have arrived. Stim not quite done. We trade 1 for 1, 1 Marauder for 1 Cyclone. We trade 2 for 2 as well, and we are barely not within range. Up. There we go. We barely do catch 1 more of those Cyclones. Look at the units lost tab. It was 3 Cyclones for 3 Marauders. Interesting trade. But that was brutal. GuMiho, a lot of the wind has been taken out of his sails. Unfortunately, he had to fight before Stim. Stim just finished, and he also had to fight without Medivacs as well. So his Marauder army is significantly weakened compared to what it should have been. And now Cure is pushing. He is moving out. He's got Marines. He scans ahead of time, does see the army. Yeah, we do have a Hellion going down here for GuMiho. He's going to try and chase this down, actually. Oh my god. It's wild. Again, just a Marauder. Still just a Marauder heavy composition. He can try to kite against these Marines. Who even forces out a Stim. Does get an additional Marine, but the tank does siege. Yeah, big shot off on that Cyclone. Cure forces back the army. GuMiho just loading up and going straight for a drop, bypassing the army entirely, or at least trying to. He's trying to race the army back home. Get there ahead of time. If these Marauders can close the gap, if they can get on top of the tank, they will shut it down. And it looks like, oh, we do get the tank. Big pickoff. Very nicely done, but another tank is in position. GuMiho cannot push. Behind this is getting into additional Raxes. Combat Shield is on the way, 1-1 as well. A very unique bio-heavy style from GuMiho. 3rd CC is going to be landed. 3rd CC is still on the way for Cure. But he has a decent setup. He's got a tank in each base, Cyclones. He's ready for whatever comes his way. Oh, big disables. Oh my god, we disable the MXD Marauders. They're stuck. There's no way out, and they will go down. A very good cleanup here from Cure. Going for the disable on the Medivacs of all things, and with that, the Marauder count almost gets reset. I say almost, we still have a couple of Marauders back at home, but only one Marauder left. This commitment into Concussive Shell wasn't really worth it in the end. I mean, we got a tank. We got a couple of Cyclones, but especially upon losing them here in the main, I'm not too sure if it was worth it for GuMiho. As Cure is building up his own bio tank army. 4 CC on location. 4 CC on location. We do shut down 1-2 of those Cyclones. Very nice control there from GuMiho. Slowing them both down. Looking to get within range of that 3rd base. Cure, he's in position. He has Ravens for those disables. The tanks are left exposed, and we're going for a drop into the main. There's a turret in position, but only 1. It's not enough. The bio army does stem in. We're going straight for the SCVs. Oh, get an add-on. Do shut down an add-on as well, but we don't quite get too many workers. Yeah, we have to respect the auto turrets. GuMiho does have 1-1, but he's being overwhelmed. Yeah, there are just too many Marines, too many SCVs. Workers are going down. This is actually a decent trade here for GuMiho. No! But he does lose his Medivacs. Does lose everything. But in the end, GuMiho now has a massive worker lead. He's got 70 SCVs compared to the 55 of Cure. And Cure soon to saturate this 4th base. It's sorry, GuMiho soon to saturate this fourth base. So GuMiho has got a good economy, but his army is where he's lacking a little bit here. Cure, I have to give him the edge with a higher tank count, and on top of that, a higher Raven count as well. Cure, he's got a traditional bio-tank composition with tanks and Ravens. Meanwhile, his opponent's going for something more biocentric instead. 2-2 on the way. Again, a big 2-2 timing is going to be available here for GuMiho. A very active style. Likewise, Cure is pushing out. Oh, there's not much to actually protect this planetary, but it is going to be a planetary. I'm loving the sensor tower here out in the open on the right-hand side. Push is coming in. Cure, he does see the planetary in the end. GuMiho trying to keep up. Rocks are being knocked down. Cure repositioning. Let's make sure he's able to keep up with GuMiho. And the army has been spotted. Yeah, GuMiho immediately backing off. He picks up his tanks, he gets the hell out of there. Again, with Ravens, Cure, he has so much more potential with this army. Like 2-2 may kick in for GuMiho, but Cure can break a siege line. Like with these Ravens, with these Disables, he can break it. Can bust forward. And there it is. Disables on two of those tanks, and Cure sims forward on top of them. Clutch on siege there. Only one tank will go down. Oh, did I speak too soon? Oh, I did. Two tanks go down. We do get the siege. GuMiho coming in for a surround. He collapses on these tanks, and can he break in? Can he break through? He cannot. The bio army just crumbles before Cure, and Cure, he's getting out of control. Cleans up the tanks, cleans up the Marines. Again, the Disables were too good. The tank count as well. Too good for Cure. As his third base has been broken. Oh, the hot pickup! We saved the SCVs! Clutch moves out of GuMiho. He saves his workers, but the army of Cure is not slowing down. He's up in army supply, getting within range of the production even. Oh, the tank! Tank goes down. Boys are being pulled. Oof. But we cannot commit. Likewise, Cure also has to respect the army, backs off. Waiting for reinforcements, repositioning. Again, getting within range of the production on the high ground. Tank's gonna be going up. GuMiho, he's trying to break through. Gets another tank. But we don't have any Marines. The Marines are running out of steam here. GuMiho is running out of his buffer force, and his tanks are exposed. Barely there aren't enough Marines. As Cure is just unrelenting, continuing his rally across the map. Tank does go down. Vikings being zoned away. We do take down all the medevacs. Medevac count has been reset. GuMiho expanding towards the north even. Cure still has a lot of momentum. But he does lose another tank. Gonna be landing his fourth base. Cure up in workers. And it looks like from here the push has ended. I don't know if Cure can really keep going. He does see the army moving out. Cure, he stands his ground. Going for a doom drop even, and that is spotted by the scan. Oh, with the fake out. Oh my god. He's crazy. Okay, never mind. He changes his mind. He is going to be pushing, and Cure, he has to race back home to defend against this. No, he's doubling back. Oh god. Is he coming back around? Is he attacking? Is he defending? Yeah, it looks like they're trying to fake each other. They're trying to outposition each other. As Cure turns back around, the drop likewise comes back home as well. Cure recognizes that by now there should have been that drop and it just never arrived. He's going to be pushing. Scan does reveal the army. Likewise, sees some of the movement as well, but it's too late. We do drop into the main base. GuMiho is out of position. He's going to try to come in from behind, try to collapse on this army, trying to even catch reinforcements, but in the process, he's losing everything in the main. Raxes are going down, and it looks like we're going for a base trade. We're sending everything across the map. Sure, he's in position. He has tanks defensively back at home. He's ready for this, but here we go. GuMiho coming in towards the third. And he will get on top of this base. This CC is going to go down. Likewise, Cure, is he turning back around? Does unload on the high ground. GuMiho catching some SCVs. Oh no, Cure is just going for the natural. Going for the natural base. Meanwhile, GuMiho, he takes down the third. Now he's going to find the fifth and the fourth. Cure coming in from behind. The tanks, they're exposed. Oh, SCVs are going down, but we do get on top of the tanks and everything will fall. GG gets called. Cure takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Oh my god. Things got a little bit intense towards the end there, but overall, Cure, he was able to punish GuMiho as soon as he lost that drop of Marauders. Cure, he was so quick to move out, so quick to leverage his higher tank count, his higher Raven count as well, and break through. And yeah, Cure, once he got momentum on his side, he never really let it go. It was also a brutal moment as well where he did end up outpositioning GuMiho and the base trade had to ensue. But even before that, like Cure, he did have an economic lead. He was up in workers, up in army, up in tanks. Was looking strong. And with that, Cure takes a lead in this series, and now we're looking to see if GuMiho can fight back. Can we get an ace match between these two players as we load in to Hardlead for game number 2? Also, I don't want that macro game to take away from the fact that GuMiho rushed into Concussive Shell. GuMiho, he rushed into Concussive Shell in that last game. It was crazy what he did. It was wild. Didn't work, but it was still crazy. and I appreciate it. I appreciate what GuMiho did in that first game. But here we go. We're getting into game number 2. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Hardlead, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing Cloud9. It is GuMiho. We go again. Remember, he rushed into Concussive Shell, into Stim, into like a Marauder drop into the main. It was crazy. And it almost worked. Like GuMiho, if you remember, there was like a crisp window, a timing where Cure happened to attack GuMiho before he got his Medivacs out and before Stim finished. It was like 15 seconds away from Stim finishing, and Cure was able to trade a lot more efficiently than GuMiho would have wanted and really stop the ball rolling when it came to the kind of early game Marauder aggression that GuMiho wanted in game 1. And I can definitely see that game going very differently if GuMiho had been able to engage with Stim, you know, on his terms with the Marauders that he wanted. Would have been very different. Until then, we do have a double gas opener out of Cure, double gas out of GuMiho. Aggressive styles here from both players. Winding it back, if you remember, in game 1, GuMiho did go for a more economic opener. He went for a Rax Expand. This time, anything but. This time it is going to be a factory follow-up. And we'll see where these players take us. In the previous game, this led into reactored Cyclones, and we pushed out with, I want to say, 5 Cyclones for Cure. We'll see if he does the same. We'll see if GuMiho is also one to embrace the Cyclone, or if he goes into a different direction. As Reaper for Cure is out, GuMiho taking a risk, moving out across the map. Up! Does get caught out, and who shoots first? Oh my god, Cure does, as he does shut down the first Reaper. Ay, ay, ay. A big loss here for GuMiho. This is why you don't send your first Reaper across the map. It is considered to be very risky and very unsafe. And GuMiho does end up losing map control. He's going to be down in units overall. He's stuck at home. Getting his CC on location, so is Cure. Cure getting into his Cyclone production, and the game will move on from here. Again, Cure does have a overall unit advantage. Not the biggest of deals yet, but Hellion is going to be joining up with these Reapers. And we're going to be pushing towards the natural. We are going to be threatening that natural base. So far, the Cyclone has arrived. Do you get a lock on? Going to be shooing away that Hellion. Reaper's a dip in the main, but we're in position. Ooh. Reaper goes down. GuMiho does get his revenge and can even chase this down as well. Does retreat though. Not sure if the Hellion was waiting for him. But really good positioning. Really good positioning here from GuMiho. He does deflect the aggression. He does hold on. And behind this, we're getting into a 1-1-1. We're working towards some drop play. Likewise, so is Cure. Now, there's a bit of a difference here. Cure is working towards a Cyclone drop or a Cyclone push. We see GuMiho rushing into a tank drop instead. So different forms of aggression are upon us, but both players, they intend to be active on the map. They intend to move out. One going more Cyclone heavy, the other going more tank heavy. And here we go. We are pushing. GuMiho has to be careful though not to be caught out by those Cyclones. That would be disastrous if the Cyclones caught the medevac. The medevac will go through the center, does avoid those Cyclones. Likewise, GuMiho, he sees the army. Oh my god. Does see the army, does pivot away. And the drop gets into the main. Tank will siege. Likewise, the Cyclone drop also arrives as well. The boys are being pulled. Oh, and this is going to be shut down. We're trading with the SCVs. We are trading with them. But the tank does fall at the same time. Cure is going to be pushing across the map himself. Second tank arrives just in time. Oh my god. GuMiho is not done. He's killing more SCVs. The tank. Oh my god. Focuses down one of the Cyclones. 10 SCVs going down across the map. GuMiho, he takes control of the natural. And he will deflect Cure. This is getting out of hand. Cure doesn't really have much at home to defend. GuMiho is chasing down the army, takes down the Cyclone, and Cure loses control of his entire natural base. Barely has anything left, has one more tank on the way. He just traded too poorly. Oh, the juggling! We're chasing down the Marines. The juggling from GuMiho is coming in with another tank. As he's going to consolidate his army. 2 tanks, a handful of Marines are left. A third tank on the way. And we're going straight for the main. We don't even care. He scans ahead of time. He sees the one tank of Cure on the low ground. And we just ignore the tank. We go straight for the production. Auto targets thrown down. We're within range. The tank is going to fall. The Raven as well. Oh my god. Yeah, the tank barely does fall towards the end. GuMiho trading so well. Unsieging just in time. And he just keeps dropping. He doesn't stop. There's no brakes on this train. Not on the GuMiho train, as he does get on top of the production once again, camping it as best he can. SCVs are being pulled. The tank comes out. GuMiho is forced back. He's forced back for a moment, but he just keeps on going. Raven arrives for an auto turret. GuMiho, he doesn't have the disable, but he has the auto turret instead. Oof. Tanks are going to go down, though. Not the best trade for GuMiho, not this time. Losing 2 tanks for 3 SCVs. But he just keeps dropping. He just keeps going. He can't be stopped. We got a Viking. Yeah, and it looks like this army is going to go down. A rough trade here for GuMiho, losing 3 tanks. This has been a bit of an overextension. GuMiho has lost 3 tanks here for only a handful of SCVs. Cure is still in this, kind of. As I say that he's still in this, like, he's surviving. But the worker count tells the story. Cure, he's down to 38 SCVs. GuMiho has his 3rd on location, his main nodding over. GuMiho, he's been pumping out non-stop SCVs this entire time. He's up 15 workers. He's down in tanks, I believe. No, we have an even tank count. Vikings are on the way. That was one of the big advantages that Cure had, is his air control, and he's soon to be losing that. Curie has a lot of catching up to do. Does come across the Ravens at least. We have a Marine drop on the left-hand side. We have a Raven aggression on the right. Harassment even. Vikings will force GuMiho back. The game is going to settle from here. We're calming things down a little bit. We are calming things down. We got 1-1 on the way. Third CC up and running here for Cure, but like not actually landed on location. Just pumping out SCVs. And GuMiho is getting further ahead. Getting his own productions underway. Armory's on the way for 2-2. There is going to be an upgrade window here where GuMiho has an advantage over Cure. Getting into 1-1. And we'll see if Cure can make a miracle happen here. Now, in TvT, because of how tanks work, it is possible that Cure is able to outposition GuMiho, get a couple of volleys off, and actually trade well, and even out-trade GuMiho. It's not impossible. But the problem is that Cure, he's stuck at home, and it's going to be GuMiho that's going to be establishing himself, setting up his army, and looking for a way to break this natural. And he doesn't need to be honest. GuMiho containing to 2 bases is all he really needs to do. He doesn't have to push in. Oh, they're even... Oof. But he wants to. He's leapfrogging forward with his tanks. They're within range of the CC. Cure, he's on a timer. Viking gets picked off. We can see a drop being sent out. At the same time, drop gets shut down in the main. Turrets were in position. Cure going for a Hail Mary play across the map. But again, he is on a timer. He needs to break free. Looks like Cure is going to try to set up for a surround. Go for a drop outside the natural base. As that CC is getting very low. And the natural base is going to go down. A couple volleys left. Force lift into Vikings. And here comes the army of Cure. He does catch some reinforcements. Takes down a tank. Essentially going for a base trade. The boys are being pulled. The tank is in position. GuMiho holds onto his natural. His third base is a little bit more exposed. Boys have to be pulled once again. SCVs are going down, but GuMiho, he can afford to lose some SCVs. As Cure is on 1 base economy. Still stuck at 1 base. The Marines, they stim away. Get the hell out of there. As if GuMiho wanted to, he could just go for a mass disable on these tanks and he can actually leapfrog forward. Like, GuMiho, he can break this. Meanwhile, Cure once again getting ready for a drop across the map. Getting ready for a push. Marines are arriving. Army of GuMiho, of Cure has been spotted. And Cure's gonna clean this up. Good trade for our Red Terran. On the other side, GuMiho, again, are we just gonna go for the dive? We can. A couple of tanks will reposition. I love that 3 tanks are left unsieged. Yeah, we are going to be actually just maneuvering the army. Cure getting ready for a mass surround. He's pushing in. Auto turrets are thrown down. Marines coming in from behind. The boys are being pulled in. So many SCVs are going down. Good target firing here from these tanks. And GuMiho will take the fight. He cleans up all the Marines, cleans up the SCVs. GuMiho, he will lose all his tanks, but again, that was a trade worthwhile for the Blue Terran. He has a 4th base up and running. The Planetary. Cure has tanks, but not much else. 2-2. Now finishing up here for GuMiho as well. Getting further ahead in the upgrades. +3 attack has begun. And here come the reinforcements. GuMiho is a little bit afraid of a counterattack, because Cure has been threatening these Hail Mary plays. He was concerned. Yeah, and Cure, he does have a lot of tanks available. We have a triple drop on the right-hand side. Main army pushing through the center towards the third base. And Cure, he's not in position. Reinforcements are coming in. The boys, they're being pulled. And the entire mineral line is going to be going down. That's 17 SCVs. GG is going to get called. And GuMiho will tie up the series 1-1. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Things started off a little bit rough for GuMiho. Remember, he lost the first Reaper, he lost a little bit of momentum early on when Cure took map control, but GuMiho, he was just relentless with his tank drop. Remember, there was a moment where GuMiho was going for a tank drop. At the same time, we had a Cyclone drop coming out from Cure. GuMiho hit first. Cure, he was a little bit frazzled, and yeah, the non-stop tank drop aggression from GuMiho did surprisingly well. It was he just refused to let up, refused to go back home, just kept being in the face of Cure, and eventually broke through, eventually crippled the economy of Cure. And behind all of that, GuMiho, he was just making non-stop SCVs, getting his third base up and running, getting further and further ahead economically, allowing him to, yeah, just snowball out of control with his army. GG. GG, well played. We have a tied up series, and we're getting into game number 3. Let's go. Game 3 is going to be taking place on Oceanborn. We're going under the sea. I'm ready for it. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our South Korean Terran player tying up the series 1-1 in that last game. It is GuMiho for Cloud9. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. Here we go. Again, we are tied up. We're here in the ace match. GuMiho going for a fake proxy Rax. This used to be so much more common back in the day. This used to be like the standard back in not even that long ago, like 2019, 2020. Terran players going for fake proxy Raxes in TvT and TvP. Very commonplace here. So this is just designed to scare Cure a little bit. If Cure did go for an SCV scout, he would see that the Rax was missing and hopefully overreact. That's the goal here. Meanwhile, Cure isn't SCV scouting because we're going for a real proxy. We have a proxy Rax and 1 Rax back at home. It's going to be a 2 Rax opener here from Cure. Very aggressive. It's not as committed as a proxy 2 Rax, but aggressive nonetheless. And this is actually really rough for GuMiho. Because GuMiho has to take a defensive role, his Rax is in a terrible position. It's it's actually really bad. It's gonna be that much more awkward for his reinforcements to come from the Rax to defend his main base. The wall is being set up, but yeah, this is gonna be very awkward here for GuMiho. Oh boy. And it's just gonna take that much longer for reinforcements to arrive at his main base to help defend. He is essentially cut off from his main. Reapers are on the way. SCV Scout doesn't see much, just sees a Rax. SCV's coming back home. We do see GuMiho. He's going to be scouting, and he does come across the proxy. He sees the Rax. He's aware. He knows. As he backs off, thankfully GuMiho did go for a double gas opener, so he should be working on a Hellion momentarily. He's rallied back to his main base. Hellion's on the way. We may even have to pull some SCVs just to keep this 1 Reaper alive. There we go. Curie's going for the dive. Does get a couple of hits in already. Takes down 1 SCV. Oh, meanwhile, Cure almost gets caught out. Takes some extra hits, and Curie has to back off. It looks like he will lose a Reaper. A big win here for GuMiho. Takes down the first Reaper. Can he get another? No shot. Up. He will. Second Reaper goes down as well, and this is disastrous. Cure, he has to back the hell off. He's racing back home, lifts up the Rax, and GuMiho defends. Very well done. Solid control here from GuMiho, and meanwhile, across the map, going for a proxy starport. GuMiho turning his defense into an offense. Meanwhile, GuMiho is getting his CC on location. Cure, he's going to try and delay it, but he's just too little too late. Kira getting his own CC on the high ground. GuMiho is going to be pushing in. Hellion tanks a couple of shots. Does get an SCV. But the Cyclone arrives just in time, and GuMiho does overextend. Losing his Hellion, losing a Reaper. Meanwhile... we're going proxy BC in TvT? I've seen GuMiho do this against Zerg. I've seen him doing it against Protoss, actually. Against Terran? Okay, we're doubling down on the proxy battlecruiser. Meanwhile, Kira's pushing because GuMiho just lost a bunch of army, by the way. CC's gonna be delayed. GuMiho just doubling. No, so my apologies. Okay, it is not BC. It's gonna be... Oh, no, there we go. Does cancel the Banshee in the end. Has to make sure he can survive back at home. Good lock-ons. Does hold on. Again, what direction are we going to go in? There it is. Battlecruiser is on the way. And this is a wild move here from GuMiho. We'll see if it pays off. Oh my god. I remember GuMiho doing this on Data Sea. Data Under the Sea. Now 2 map pools ago. God, I can't believe it's been that long. Jesus. I want to say it wasn't 3 map pools ago, right? I want to say 2. Yeah. But regardless, GuMiho going to be backing up here, going to be just establishing his 2 bases. Saturating. He's committing going into Yamato as well. Oh my, he is banking so much on these BCs. His hopes and dreams are in these battle cruisers. With Yamato, he should be committing here. I'm surprised he's not going 2-port BC at this point. Yeah, the Rax is floating. He's playing mech. BC mech here in a TvT. Let's go. Meanwhile, we have a Cure just setting himself up back at home, building up his tank count, getting Marines. I mean, again, with the traditional mech style, these tanks, they don't shoot up. And the first battlecruiser has arrived. Second battlecruiser on the way. Hellions are moving out. Do we have it? We do have Interference Matrix, and here we go. The BC arrives. Does reveal itself. Safar takes down a Marine, takes down another as well. The Cyclone is going to be showing up here to support. GuMiho being very careful with his control. He doesn't want to get caught out by that Cyclone. Tanks are in position. We do have that disabled just in case Cure needs it. More factories are on the way. See, pushing forward. Yamato still isn't done. We do on siege. We saved the tank. The tank is barely saved. We get the disable as well. Preserving the tanks, getting the repairs going. Not the best surface area. This tank is actually quite exposed. Yamato gets up. Does take down another tank. Or his first tank even. Marines are going down. Viking production has commenced here for Cure. Viking stim, continued Marine production. The second tank arrives, but it gets disabled. So far, Cure's only been losing Marines in that 1 tank from earlier. Oh, sorry, 2 tanks even. I think we got a second Yamato. From here, GuMiho, he hasn't really gotten the damage that he's been looking for, but there's still potential. With these battlecruisers, we have those Yamatos. Getting another tank. Another tank does go down. Cure's third base is denied. GuMiho getting his own third on location. But Cure, because he's been so patient here with his Raven control, with his disables, like he is slowly leapfrogging forward, taking control of this third base. Still has plenty of energy for more disables. But now we are up to 3 BCs. The Viking count getting higher. GuMiho's ground army can't really Still building up that Viking count. The Hellions, they go for a run by. They bypass the tanks. They go straight for the mineral line. SCVs aren't going down. At the same time, here come the BCs. They get on top of the tanks as well. GuMiho pulling Cure apart. Gets into the mineral line. He takes out the tanks. Gets into the third base as well. And the BCs will teleport the hell away from this. I feel like we could have kept going for a little bit longer. But GuMiho, he does fear all these Vikings. 7 SCVs went down. And GuMiho, he takes a worker lead. 69, nice. 69 workers. Blue Flame is on the way. Hurricane thrusters, additional factories, double armory. GuMiho, he's been building up his own tank count. He's ahead in tanks thanks to his BCs. We have 4 tanks to the 1 of Cure. And can GuMiho end the game here and now? He is up heavily in army supply. He's up in army, he's up in workers. Tanks are pushing forward. For the defense here, it's all about the Ravens. The CC low from earlier, actually. Forced to be lifted. Cure now on a 2-base economy. PCs are on the way. The battle cruisers, they are coming. Hellions, they get into the mineral line once again. Roasting up 10 SCVs. 11 SCVs go down. GuMiho now reinforcing with his battle cruisers. The Armadas go off. Ooh. Taking down some of those Vikings. At least the Ravens survive. We get a disable. But GuMiho is snowballing out of control. He's working on a 4th base behind this. Up to 84 SCVs. The Liberator arrives. Don't get the tank though. Yamato is denied. Clutch disables here from Cure. He's slowly leapfrogging forward here with a lower tank count. Some miscontrol here from GuMiho. We'll lose the tank. Unfortunate rally with his army. Did take a lot of hits actually. Behind this, we have Thor production. Let's go. Thors are soon to be here. 4th base being taken. Where, oh my god, still heavily oversaturated even. GuMiho, calm down. Stop making SCVs. We're up to 87. Getting a 5th base on location. Working on it. As Cure finally reestablishes his 3rd base. Building up more Vikings, getting into double starport production for more Vikings and Liberators. At this stage of the game, it's not really about the tanks, it's about the Vikings and Libs, about the air control, the air Terran. Now what's interesting is that GuMiho, he only stopped at 3 battle cruisers. He's not making any more. So you could make an argument that we have an over-investment into the Vikings. How many Vikings do we have? 12. Soon to be 14 Vikings with +1 ship weapons as well. The army, oh! Armadas go off. Armadas are going to be going up. We see GuMiho rotating around, denying the 4th base. Yeah, I kind of want to... We're making 6 Vikings at a time! I kind of wish that we were already working towards more Libs. I feel like we should have enough Vikings here. For 3 battle cruisers, as well as we have like Marines on the ground. And disables and auto turrets. I feel like we desperately need more Liberators here. Because GuMiho is just hammering down more tanks, more Thors. We're still on 2 Libs. We're pushing up the ramp. Out positioning Cure. Solar disables are going down. At the same time, battle cruisers are going to be threatening from the right-hand side. They pull back the air army. We just teleport to the other side, to the safety of the Thors. Oh my god. GuMiho. Liberators are repositioning. Again, the Thors going ham on these Vikings. VCs are going to go down, and Cure is dealing with this. He cleans up the Thors. But he lost 14 SCVs. Oh my god. Cure, he's on the chase. His army is overstimmed, no medevacs. He has a lot of Vikings in his army as well. Cure, this is a subpar Terran army here. And forced to land. There go the Vikings, they have landed. Cure pushing across the map. The boys are being pulled. Can GuMiho hold on? Can he stand his ground? He takes down the libs. Vikings pushing on forward within tank range, but there's only one tank. Okay, we stopped tanks to make more Thor. Oh my god. We just doubled down on Thor production, and that was not the right call here from GuMiho. He is being forced back. Another base is going to be going down. GuMiho in a lot of trouble. Again, we need more tanks. Defending with pure Thor. Pure, he has broken free. Tanks are on the way. GuMiho, he still has a sold economy, bear that in mind. As 20 SCVs have fallen. Pushing towards the natural. Boys are being pulled to repair. Oh, the Thors, they go down to the tanks. And Cure, has he done it? Has he broken through? Takes control of the natural waste. We have some reinforcements heading towards the planetary as well. We still have two BCs alive. Oh my god. The battle cruisers, they're alive. Nothing shoots up. No shot. Oh my god. The BCs, they survived from earlier, and nothing shoots up. The tanks are gonna go down. Battle cruisers, they reign supreme. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Oh my god. Cure was doing so well. He was doing so well, breaking through the third into the natural, clearing up all the Thors. But the Viking count was reset. It was reset, Papi, and GuMiho, he breaks free. Oh my god. These battle cruisers, from the start of the game, the MVPs. Unironically. Oh my god. That was it. That was Cure's moment. He was doing so well. But the BCs, they survived. And GuMiho, he can keep on pushing. He has gone back into tank production. The Vikings of Cure, they are breaking through. These BCs are gonna get the hell out of here. They do fall back. 3 Vikings do survive for Cure. He's still making 6 Vikings at a time. As GuMiho is pushing forward. What army do we have left? We're down to 0 tanks. Cure, he has 0 tanks left. He lost them all earlier, and he can't afford them. He doesn't have the gas. He has Vikings and a bio army. That's all he has left. The BCs are overextending. 1 battlecruiser may go down. Teleport the hell out of there. The GuMiho, he does take control of the 3rd base. Has a tank on the high ground as well to shell away at the 4th. We see Cure setting up for a surround. He's coming from behind. Oh my god. It's not going to work out though. GG gets called. And GuMiho will take the series 2-1, advancing to the semifinals. GG, well played. Oh my god. Let's go. GG, well, GuMiho meticulously taking care of his battlecruisers throughout the course of that entire game. He had 3 initially and only 1 died. He did so well preserving them, and they actually came in clutch towards the end. Like, they actually turned the battle in his favor. They were enough to just defend, to hold on, clean up, what was that, 5-6 tanks, and stop the push from GuMiho. Sorry, stop the push from Cure. GG. GG, well played. Impressive stuff here from GuMiho. Making some magic happen. That was beautiful. Oh my god. And GuMiho will be the first to advance on through this group. Congratulations. And Cure gets knocked down to the decider match. Oh my god. And yeah, again, really impressive stuff. As always, GuMiho, of course, just being very creative with his play style and just, yeah, being so unorthodox with his builds as well. We had a game earlier on Alcyone where we saw him just rush into concussive shell, rush into stim, rush into marauders, which didn't work well in the end, didn't work in GuMiho's favor, but we could see the logic behind it. We could see like the ideal where that would snowball out of control. Likewise here, defending the 2 racks beautifully and going into proxy battle cruiser in TvT. What a guy. what a player. TvT, congratulations to GuMiho, as again, he's the first to make it out of the group, and we are here to determine who is the first to be eliminated from the group. We had our TvT here to begin with, and up next we have a ZVZ elimination match between DRG and Solar. Let's go.